Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, October 25th, 2020. Come on in, take a seat on the bench with us here on episode 1 of Riding the Pine. We got Dylan Puzz down in the great state of Georgia. We got Michael Sheeple coming to us from Broad Albion, Perth, New York. I am Adam Zabrowski, right here in Rotterdam in the tri-state area. And this is an exciting day for all of us. Episode 1. It's been in the works for a while. Come on, boys.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Long time coming.
Look,
Waiting for this.
we're just 3 guys. We've all played sports, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, we've been around, whether it's football, we've all played baseball, got the basketball in there, everything like that. You know, Sheebs, you're a golfer. We've done it all. And a lot of things have been said to me. What makes you guys different from everybody else? Why are we going to listen to you? Because we're just like you. We are that 99.9% that we played. We love the game, but we sucked ass, and we could not make it past the high school level. You know, Puzzer played JUCO ball. I had a shot to go D3 football out in Castleton, but why the fuck did I want to go 0-8 again playing for Castleton when I did that in high school, you know? So at one point or another, we all rode the bench, and I'm sure many of you did too. I did it in basketball. What did I do? I became a freaking janitor after. I did not play basketball for the exact point to freaking clean toilets in classrooms. Dill, I know what happened to you in baseball.
Yeah, man, it was rough. You know, different coaches, 3 coaches in 1 year. It's just wasn't a great situation. So I decided, pack up, move to the great state of Georgia, and start a different lifestyle.
Now you mean Georgia. And then we got Sheebs, our resident golfer. You played a little baseball?
I dabbled in baseball a little bit. I played all the way through 8th grade, tried to focus on golf, and then I decided that I didn't want to play golf anymore. And I played baseball my senior year of high school to get that free spring training trip to Myrtle Beach.
And what happened there?
Struck out looking on 3 pitches. That's what happened there.
No. I mean before the game. You couldn't even get the baseball to the guy you were friggin' throwing with. You threw it in the water.
16 hours on a bus, threw it over his head into the pond. Had to go fish it out myself.
See, and very much like golfing. You got to go in there with the Gators.
Oh, yeah.
You know, either way, this is a fun night for all of us. We're going to be here for a while. This is something that's been in the works. It started off with actually Sheebs. You know, he was texting me throughout the summer, hey, we should do a podcast. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's find the time. You know, work gets in the way. Life gets in the way. One day, Puzzer texted me. We're texting back and forth. Yo, I had a dream meeting you at a podcast. Oh, shit. Let me introduce you to my buddy from college, Sheeple. So what do? We drove out to a great restaurant out in Amsterdam, had a meeting, and we said, let's friggin' do this. So here we are. We're doing it. We're just like you. You're just like us. And, hey, if you like it, tell somebody about it. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Social media, word of mouth, anything else.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube at Riding the Pine Podcast, and hit us up, give us a follow. We'll be posting on there every week about the episodes and about, clips from the live streams and everything else as well.
You know, if you don't like us, wipe it from your memory. We don't got to penetrate your ears.
Okay.
You don't got to listen to us. And you know what? No hard feelings if you don't like us. But we like you. So we hope you like us. And with that in mind, let's get into it. It's been a freaking wild week of sports.
Wait. Before we get into it, can I just give a shout-out to my world champion Los Angeles Lakers? Shout-out LeBron. Shout-out AD. Shout-out KCP, everyone, Frank Vogel. Great year.
That's my goat. Another ring.
And the one thing the NBA had was at least credibility. You know what they played like. At least when they got to the bubble, what they finished, they played like 5-6 more regular games before they went into the playoffs.
Yeah, they played a couple, games to just get them back into the field.
Yeah, they played 8 seeding games.
Yeah, they played the 8
seeding
games.
Phoenix
Suns
8-0
and didn't make it.
Didn't make the playoffs.
So
they did everything they possibly could have done and got a trip to Orlando.
That's how crazy the NBA
not
bubble
do
was
anything.
and how the season went. And just COVID-19 fucking affecting all these different sports in different ways. Baseball, we didn't even know if it was going to be played, and here we are in the World Series. Nobody would have thought that. NFL, there was always question if it was going to be started or not, and it looks like we're, knock on wood, going to be having a great full season in the NFL as well in college football. That was a huge if. Big Ten just started this week, and I think we're going to have, a regular championship.
Yeah, and we're going to get into football very soon. And Buzzer, I'm happy you bring up baseball because we got the World Series. And I'm very happy you said that because 3 of us were baseball fans. Did not know if the season was going to happen. Unsure. They go through spring training a little bit. COVID shit hits. What are you going to do? We're in a global pandemic. Unsure. There's obviously more important things than worrying about a baseball season. But once it unravels and that there's a shot, doctors are doing what they have to do. People are doing what they have to do with distancing. All the terms that we've heard every freaking day since March that I'm sure we're all sick of, but we very much have to take seriously. It all happens. We all do the right thing. We get some baseball. And now we're in the World Series. The series tied at 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Tampa Bay Rays. Right now, as we're recording this, Jock Peterson just homered to put the Dodgers up 3-0 all of 5 minutes ago. So right now in Game 5, the Dodgers have a 3-0 lead. But holy shit, boys, the game last night was the craziest ending to a World Series game that I've seen. And I'm a diehard Sox fan. I had to live through the interference call in 2013 that beat it out. Randy Arozarena scores the game-winning run.
I mean, he was dead in the water. And
shock.
I can't believe who was catching. Was that Smith?
That was Will Smith.
I can't believe that was the play to end the game.
Yeah.
That was the execution on that. It started with, first of all, Chris Taylor. Field the ball.
Yes. Get in front of it.
There's no reason if he fields that cleanly, that's why he stopped and fell, literally.
He pulled a full Daniel Jones and did a somersault and still managed to get it to home plate without a helmet.
He basically crawled.
We're going to shit on the NFC East in a little bit. You don't got to do it right now.
and then he went.
Yeah.
It was over.
He couldn't believe that he actually scored.
Here's the thing. Brett Phillips barely played. Just got put on the active roster.
Yeah.
That man, did you see the report what happened to him? His heart rate, he could not get it normal. They had to put him on an IV. His heart rate was at 140.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
He had to take an IV because that man was so hyped that he just won Game 4 of the World Series for the Rays. And the thing going in this series, and I'm sure you both can attest to this, the Dodgers better talent. But the Rays have the better makeup as a team. So when you look at the matchup, the Dodgers can't outsmart the Rays. The Rays can't out-talent the Dodgers. To me, I get the ratings. I get the Rays have nobody down at the Trop when they're home. I get it's a small market. But when you think about that as a baseball fan, that's a pretty damn good matchup.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is the first time in how many years we finally get the number 1 seed coming out of the AL and the number 1 seed coming out of the NL meeting in the World Series. And that, these two teams are really living up to it. I mean, it's literally a back and forth fist fight in this series, and it's really fun to watch as a baseball fan.
Honestly, the Rays are a pretty scrappy team because, before the playoffs start, they have a lot of solid players and, a lot of talented players on that team, but there's not, a single person that jumps out to you as, a quote-unquote superstar.
Well, that's the Tampa Bay Rays way. You have the second highest payroll in baseball versus the 27th highest payroll. And I think Kevin Kiermaier is the longest tenured Ray, and I believe he came up in 2014. So you're looking at a guy that's been there for 6 years as the longest tenured guy in an outfield like that. Defense is
one of the best outfielders in the game, I think. Personally, he got snubbed for a Gold Glove this year.
He did. And Jackie Bradley Jr., love him to death. Kevin Kiermaier and him go toe-to-toe. But then you look at the rest of the outfield. You got Manny Margot, Austin Meadows, Hunter Renfroe. Jesus. And then they're going with that 4 outfield setup when Will Smith comes to plate.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
They were doing it in the series against New York as well. They were doing the 4 outfielders. They do it for select hitters, and I never seen you see that in Little League in high school. You don't see that in the MLB, but Kevin Cash is changing the game with the bullpens. Why not change the game a little bit of defense too?
And that's how you have to do it when you're managing in Tampa. Look what Joe Madden used to do. This is the Rays, obviously for sports fans, it's the Rays' second trip to the World Series. And how do they do it their first time? With young, unproven guys and a couple savvy veterans who did just enough to get there. And this Rays team actually has a shot. That 2008 Rays team, they were a good team.
They were good.
But when you're going toe-to-toe with Rays that year. No.
No.
This Rays team this year has a shot. And I know right now Dodgers are up 3-0. Right now we got Hunter Renfroe up. Runner on first, nobody out. Kershaw in game 1 pitches balls off.
Absolutely.
Outdueled Glasnow.
Absolutely.
Outdueled Glasnow. And right now Glasnow ain't looking too hot either.
This is a big
man.
game for Clayton Kershaw because
Huge.
he always has that rap of, he's fantastic in the regular season. He falls in the playoffs. He turns into Curtin Clayshaw. Like, it's like his bad alter ego.
Yeah, he dealt in game 1. And, so far in this game, he's given up 2 hits, no runs, no walks. I mean, he's pitching well. Can't really.
I think we just had to strike him out, throw him out.
Look at that.
So Kershaw let him go through an inning and a third. And it goes back, what I brought up earlier, how the Dodgers won't be able to outsmart the Rays. You look at game 2, and that's what the Dodgers try to do when they went to the bullpen game in game 2. You're up 1-0 in the series. You have a chance to go 2-0. 70% of teams win the World Series up 2-0. And you go to a bullpen game against the Tampa Bay Rays, you're going to try to out-Ivy League these guys. That shit ain't going to work, and it didn't work. And then last night, personally, when I got home right at the bottom of the 9th. I was watching the game throughout at Royer's place. And I got home bottom of the 9th after a while, and I saw that whole inning unfold, and I sat in bed, and I was like, shit, that might have just put the bullet in the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But then you look at the Dodgers, and you look at the talent they have, you can't count them out. This World Series is great. I don't care what the ratings say. This is a great World Series for baseball fans.
Yeah.
If you actually understand and appreciate the game, that's how it is. I don't know if you guys have final thoughts on the World Series.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm all set with that. I mean, just, early prediction for World Series MVP, give it to Mookie Betts.
Yeah, if the Dodgers win.
Corey Seager. What the hell did Corey Seager?
Give it to Mookie Betts. I'm just saying.
Corey Seager. I love Mookie Betts. I will always love Mookie Betts. I don't care. It is not his fault he's not in Boston. Corey Seager is the World Series MVP right now.
Right now, yeah. When it's all said and done, I feel like Mookie's going to have
his day.
And Corey Seager already has an RBI this game. Corey Seager already has an RBI this game, right in the first inning. 2 batters in the
Dodgers. Mookie's 1 for 2. He's 3 for. Now he's 4 for 10 off Glasnow in his career. So I mean, it's
all well and good. You know what? I hope Mookie. If the Sox can't do it, I hope Mookie gets a few rings over there. I love him. He's going to go.
He's been doing it with the glove.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His glove might be better than that.
Stealing bases.
Possible.
Mookie does it all.
What was it, game 1?
Game 1, he had a homer, 2 stolen bases. He had a walk and 2 stolen bases in the same inning. Like.
Yeah, and he gave us all tacos.
He's all for the people.
So
he's all for the people. He's a man of the people.
Sir.
Come on.
There you go.
Give him his MVP.
He gave us a World Series title. So right now, we'll jump in. I got the World Series going in the background over here. We'll jump in with updates here and there. But, hey, UFC, good card on Saturday.
It was a big card. But the only fight we're going to probably talk about is the Khabib-Justin Gaethje fight because of how much – that was surrounded by this. Khabib hasn't fought in such a long time. There's been many fights that have fallen out with him, And then, of course, he lost his father, and there was the question of if he'd ever fight again. And, him, Dana White, and Justin Gaethje got this fight done and got it. It was a quick fight, but it was a great fight. Khabib did exactly what he does every time. Backed him into the cage, took him to the ground, submitted Gaethje in round 2, triangle choke, easy. And he almost did it in the first round. I don't know how the ref didn't
He did.
Gaethje tapped. I mean, in my point of view, Gaethje tapped in the first round, so Khabib should have even got it. But he's 29-0 now, announced his retirement. First fight without his dad. And before the fight, he was ranked the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. So after the fight, everybody realized, hey, man, yeah, that's the perfect rating for, one of the GOATs, 29-0. Multiple title defenses, can't knock him in any way.
I was watching that fight too. I was watching with Lair, I was watching with Royer, Johnny B, JD, and right after the fight ended, I look over at Johnny B and Lair, and I was like, hey, I don't think this guy's ever going to freaking lose a match. And Johnny and Lair were like, oh, that's what they said about Silva. And then he starts taking his gloves off, and Larry's like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Hey, he's done. And we're all sitting there like, no fucking way. Sure as shit, Khabib. And look, if you watch UFC, I am not huge on UFC by any means, but I follow it. I do. I watch the cards when they're on. You see a guy taking his gloves off like that, you know he's done. You watch a guy like Khabib, you know what culture means to him. You know what his father meant to him. And, you know, rest his soul. Thoughts with Khabib. Obviously, he's going through a rough time. You saw the emotion before and after the fight with him. And quite literally, as soon as he did that and was announcing, I looked at him and said, hey, I guess Khabib's never going to lose again. Yeah. And you know he's not coming back.
I don't think so. You know, his father set out the goal for him to be 30-0 in his career. Unfortunately, it's going to look like he's going to fall one fight short of that, but still 29-0 is just as good as 30-0 because he still never lost. Yeah. And, you know, his mom didn't even really want him to do this fight because she didn't want him to fight without his dad at ringside because he's never done it before. And, you know, he pushed through everything. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but at the end of the match when he collapsed, that was just so, like, you could see all the stuff he's gone through and everything that he has to deal with. And, you know, hats off to him for getting this fight done. And, you know, White said he broke his foot 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't tell
anybody. He did, yes.
Yeah, he didn't tell anybody.
Like, he's got 2 toes broken and a bone in his foot. And that's
credit to Gaethje for sticking around, dude. It is. But Gaethje, the fact that he stuck around there.
Oh, Justin Gaethje, hats off to him. He's a dog. He's a dog, man. His time will come. You know, the belt's going to be vacated now. So Gaethje, don't, you know, Khabib's never lost. So don't take it as, you know, the end of the world. You're going to get another shot.
But I mean, just the overall respect that Gaethje had for Khabib to stick in the octagon, go over to him while he's on his knees and wrists and elbows and he's crying. Go give him a pat on the back after he got up just to wait inside the octagon and give a post-fight interview and just literally say, I need to stick around and show my respect to him. Yeah. Respect for Gaethje for that, you know?
And Khabib gave him a shout out in his interview at the end. And just like, he's like, you know, you never know what can happen tomorrow. So like, basically like, you know, appreciate you type thing.
Because Gaethje's a hell of a fighter. And again, the three of us, we're not UFC, you know, juice heads by any means. This is our first episode. We got some guys coming on. We got future plans. So stick with us. But I mean, some big
You're a UFC
so
fan.
far,
Keep tuning in. We're going to have more and better stats for you guys. We got people coming on.
We will have guys that know their shit. Yeah. That really do.
Definitely.
Again, we're the average Joes. We watch it. We see what happens. We break it down. We're just like you. That's how it is with UFC. Khabib, again, I've never been huge in UFC, like I've said, but to me, Khabib is one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my time watching UFC. Him, Silva, John Jones, GSP, you know.
Yeah, that's Khabib, the fight that we never got.
Even if you've never seen a match, just the video of that guy swimming against the current in a freezing cold river in Russia is all you need to know. That's all you need to know about.
They're built different over there. It's unbelievable.
My God.
He wrestled a freaking bear when he was 7?
For fun.
That's usually what I do on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Sheeps, I would pay you very good money to see you with a freaking grizzly. I would love it.
You'd pay me basically to end up in a casket.
I wouldn't pay for the funeral. I don't got money like that. Like I said, I'm a custodian groundsman. That's why we're here doing this for free. Let's move on. We got football. That's why we're here. We got football, and not just football. We got Big Ten football back. I'm not a Big Ten guy, but Big Ten football is the shit. And the Ohio State University came out on top in their first game back. But the game I want to talk about is that Indiana-Penn State game. Tell me you guys saw the ending to that.
I did not, unfortunately.
I did not. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
No, I wasn't watching that.
Go ahead. Crazy fucking game. Indiana's up. Penn State comes back. Penn State takes the lead. Indiana ties the game, goes to overtime. Penn State scores in overtime, up by 7. Indiana scores. Hold my beer, we're going for 2. Quarterback rolls out to the left.
I saw that. Yes, dude, never mind. I did see that.
I've watched that 10 times. I don't know if he's fucking in or not.
It took him 5 minutes.
I did see that, yes.
To review it.
I cannot tell if he's in or not.
I have no idea. I don't.
No idea.
That's why I don't get paid to make that call. I don't know how the refs make that call.
You just have to make a tough decision at some point.
Big win. Big win for Indiana.
Big win for Indiana. Wisconsin got a big win on Friday. Hey, I got to give a shout out to my Horns real quick. Bounce back win. Sammy Ellinger, we may not be back, but we're above 500. I'm freaking pissed because Oklahoma had them scoring 33.5 points. They needed 34 points from me. You know what they finished the game with? 33. 33, half point. Killed my ticket on the first game.
Yeah.
It's okay. Texas Baylor game. Since when did the Big 12 decide to start hitting unders, by the way?
Yeah, that's weird. It's a weird year.
If it's the Big 12, you're scoring 80 combined automatically.
Usually.
But no, not yesterday. Not at all. You know, some other scores. Coastal Carolina finally cracked the top 25. First time in program history. 28-14 win over Georgia Southern. Big one for Coastal Carolina.
Big win over.
And I know Kenny is right there with you, Marv. He's listening.
Yes, he
How about Coastal?
Shout out Coastal.
Hey, we are Marshall. 29 win over FAU. The Storm. And, you know, obviously Alabama. You get another win over Tennessee. Tennessee looks like shit.
Tennessee's bad.
Yeah. Tennessee is bad. Tennessee is really bad.
They need Peyton Manning back.
Yeah, they do need Peyton Manning back. I'm sure Peyton Manning could lead them to a friggin' win this year.
I didn't think they would be this bad after last year. I thought they would be decent. But
no, you think they would be decent.
They're bad.
But, you know, and especially looking at the drop-off with LSU. You look at the drop-off with LSU.
I can't even believe that. It's crazy.
Florida State.
I would have never thought.
Florida State's garbage.
Oklahoma.
What about Oklahoma?
I didn't think they would have, you know, I mean, you got the freshman quarterback, but still, I didn't think they'd drop 2 games of their first 3 right away. Like, yeah, it's just.
Well, during the Red River game, they took Rattler out. We were watching.
Yeah, but they had to.
They took Rattler out.
Yeah.
And Texas still shits the bed. But the Big 12 right now is ruled by Oklahoma State. Hey, saddle up, Cowboys. Other notable scores: Michigan over Minnesota, 49-24. That pick 6 was atrocious.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie Fitz, if you're gonna watch this, it's all about the U, buddy. Miami, 19-14 over Virginia. It's an ugly win, but it's a win. No worries. Cincinnati, 42-13 over SMU, and the freaking BYU Cougars. And I'm pretty sure I just looked at the rankings earlier. Do not shoot the messenger. I believe they are now up to number 11 in the rankings. They're number 12. They won 52-10 yesterday. I took the over in that game. Would have hit it, but you know what? Fuck the Sooners, Oklahoma. I'm sour. So pretty good day of college football yesterday. Never a bad day on a Saturday. When
Can't forget about the Clemson Tigers, man. Come on now, number 1 team in the
country.
That
doesn't even count. It doesn't even count.
No, you gotta give.
Wasn't it 27-21 at one point?
You gotta give. Syracuse was sticking around.
Yeah, I was about to say you gotta give Syracuse credit as well. They're playing.
They were sticking around for a minute.
But, you know.
Yeah.
They played their hearts out until it actually came down to close the game out.
And I don't want to freaking blame Trevor Lawrence for that pick 6 too. Let's be real here. Ball got tipped. I hate all these people saying, "Oh, Lawrence, you know, first pick 6. Now here we go." No, chill, because
Didn't that happen last week?
He has an interception streak like every year, but I just don't see it this year. He looks very, very.
Wow, I thought he had a pick 6 last week, or did he just get picked off?
He just got picked off. He had a pick 6 this week, I think. Well, I know he had a pick 6 this week.
I know it was a pick 6 excuse.
Yeah.
I thought he had a pick 6 last week.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Either way, Clemson looks fucking untouchable.
Clemson, I think Clemson's taking it. I just don't see, like, Bama's good, but they're just not that good. And you're not. I feel like with the games they're gonna be playing, any SEC team with 1 loss is out, and it's gonna come down to Bama, Florida.
Dinner's ready.
And here's what I was considering. Oh, we got supper ready. What we got?
Yeah, spaghetti.
Oh, fuck that. I'm Italian. I don't even know spaghetti. But what I was considering in my bed was Big 10 teams, right? Consider this. Big 10 teams and Pac-12 teams. You're coming back.
Yeah.
You're 4 or 5 games behind the 8 ball, okay? You're going to be considered for a college football playoff spot. Say you go into that, they're playing 8 games each. Everybody else is going to play their regular 11, 12 games. If you get one of those playoff spots, you're 4 games fresher than an opponent that you could be facing. And you could look at that either way. You can either look at that as the team that has more games played has the upper hand, or the team that has less games played has the advantage. You know, that's just something that dawned in my mind. I don't know what you guys think about that and which side you would favor. But either way you look at it, I mean, it's, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
So, college football's got something to think about there. If you're going to be letting these Big Ten teams in and you're only playing within your conference, you better do some Ohio State shit where you make a statement.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to
Other
win.
than that,
You need to win every game, and you need to win it by a goddamn lot.
big. You got to win big because you will be fresher than those other teams. Those
Yep.
other teams would have played more, improved more. But, the Big Ten and Pac-12 teams are going to be fresher. You can look at it either way, and that's the way that we're living in right now. It's the way of the world. It's the COVID-19 college football era.
Thank
That's
God
how
we
it's
just have
going.
college football. I mean,
Yeah.
Thank you. You read my mind. Thank God we have college football. And you know what? Thank God we have NFL football because, Jesus, there have been some scares with COVID. I didn't think the Bills were going to have a tight end today. I did not think so. But guess what? The Buffalo Bills of Orchard Park, New York, rolled into New Jersey in the Meadowlands, and they took down the absolute garbage JV football New York Jets by a score of 18-10. You won the game with 6 field goals, and the Buffalo Bills are 5-2, boys.
No, let me tell you something. I agree. I was watching Deion Sanders make his picks for the week on Barstool, and he said that he wouldn't take the Jets in an inter-squad game. They suck.
They are very bad. They are very, very bad. I think, honestly, if they don't win a game, Trevor Lawrence is staying at Clemson for his senior year.
No. Trevor Lawrence needs to end up in a Vikings uniform, but I won't get too much into that.
If the Jets don't lose, that's all I'm saying. Because I don't think if they get the number 1 pick, they can't not take a quarterback. They can't not take it.
But what difference does it make?
They got to get to their head coach first.
Nothing else.
You have
nothing else, though.
They got to get.
There's nothing else for the Jets. You could take Trevor Lawrence if you want to, but what difference is it going to make? What is Trevor Lawrence going to do with that team and that head coach?
Nothing.
That Sam Darnold can't do. What, one more win?
Nothing.
They have a 90-year-old Frank Gore. They got rid of Jamal Adams, who has to be pretty thrilled that he's on the Seahawks
Gone.
right now.
See you, Jamal.
They got pretty much nobody.
Nobody. Crowder, injured. See ya. Le'Veon, out the door to Kansas City. Go to actually win a fucking game.
Kansas City.
And they
seriously,
smoked Denver today.
But away from the Jets, let's focus on the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Okay, they won the
6
game
field goals?
against
Wow.
a terrible Jets team. It's a little concerning. It is.
Yeah.
But week 1, the Jets played them. And, I am a big component on division games are the hardest to win. I think we all know that. It doesn't matter if your team is the worst or the best. Division games, the hardest to win. Week 1,
shout out Chin. He knows about the division games.
He does. Chin knows about it. Joe, I was texting Big Joe during the game. Division games are very hard to win. I've always preached that. But the Bills still pull it out. A win's a win in the NFL. You did it the way you had to do it.
Josh Allen did throw for 307 yards today. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he also didn't throw an interception.
Exactly. And, it may not help necessarily his MVP, the talk behind MVP. Aaron Rodgers last week, that didn't help his. Right now, I don't know. I got the World Series still going right now, but I know Russell Wilson's already got a tutty tonight.
Yeah, Wilson.
Last time I looked, it was 10-7 Seahawks.
Yep.
10-7 Seahawks. Russell Wilson right now is a clear MVP favorite, but Josh Allen's name deserves to be in there.
He deserves to be in there.
Season.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the end of the day, the Bills pull off the win because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Moving on to the great state of Ohio, where we had the battle of Cleveland and Cincinnati. And last week, Baker Mayfield said 4-2 has never felt like 0-6. Well, guess what, Baker? How does 5-2 feel? Is that feeling like 1-6 now? He started the game 0-5 with a pick. Let me give you guys a little quiz. What did he finish with on the day?
297, 5 touchdowns, and a pick.
And 22 of 23, that one incompletion on a spike. Baker to Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan.
Beautiful back shoulder throw. Beautiful throw.
Cleveland Browns, in our lifetime, when have we heard the Browns at 5-2?
Ever. Never.
Yeah,
Holy
never.
shit.
We have to tip our caps, though, to the rookie Number 1 overall pick, Burrow, played
Joe
his
Burrow.
balls off today. 406 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick, and a rush touchdown.
With basically not
With
an
nothing.
offensive
With
line.
nothing. And the
Basically no
kid's been
defense.
balling out all year. I
Yeah.
think it's safe to say he's going to have a very, very good career. He just needs some weapons. He's a problem, and
He has some weapons, though.
offensive line.
He needs a line. He has A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd.
Higgins.
AJ Green.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy though.
But he's still A.J. Green. Like, in my mind, like, he's still A.J. Green.
He hasn't been
know.
AJ
He
Green for
needs
2
an
years.
offensive line. If he does not have an offensive line, he will die. I think that's a certified fact.
He gets
His
hit
head
so
will be
much.
rolling off.
He's learning how to slide.
A little bit, yeah. There's you see those clips on Twitter. That's so funny.
Sliding. When you're in the pocket, and you got a 325-pound defensive lineman running at you, you can slide all you want. You're still going to get
still
cracked.
getting landed on.
Yeah.
You are. And hey, on a serious note, OBJ, hope the best for him. Did not look good with his knee.
That didn't look good at all. I hope. There's a lot of drama around him. He's still a great football player, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's drama in the locker room, whatever, outside, whatever. But,
He can't go to any other
hope it's nothing
too
bad. Hope it's nothing too bad, and, he can come back.
And the Browns have weapons. Don't get me wrong. Nick Chubb will come back.
He'll be back. It's a pretty nice backup to have Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a starting back on any team. To have him and Nick Chubb as their 1-2 punch, if they're both healthy, I don't see a better running duo in the league.
Austin Hooper was out today. He'll be back. Jarvis Landry.
They have all these injuries, and they still have weapons galore. It's unbelievable.
They do. And you know what? At the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns are a 5-2 football team.
In a very good division.
Yes, in one of the best divisions. I put them at number 2 behind the NFC West. The AFC North is number 2 behind the NFC West.
Shout out to the 6-0 Pittsburgh Steelers leading that AFC.
Oh, we'll get there.
North.
But here's the problem with the Cleveland Browns. Who are their 2 losses against?
Pittsburgh.
And?
Is it Baltimore?
Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're 0-2 in your division. You're 5-2 overall. And what did I say?
Division games are the hardest.
You win your division games. They're the hardest, but you have to. What has Matt LaFleur done? And I'm not – we got a while to the Packers, but Matt LaFleur's 8-0 in the division in his history. Short, I mean, barely a year and a half, but you know what I mean. You win your division games,
right.
You're going to be a playoff. It doesn't matter if you're a wild card or you win your division. If you're 6-0 in your division, 5-1, you're looking good. So the Browns, yes, they're 5-0 outside of the division, 5-2 overall, but again, tip your cap, give credit to where it's due. The Cleveland Browns 5-2.
Even in the loss against Pittsburgh, it wasn't like Baker was just terrible. It really was just Baker. Like, I mean, their defense, we didn't kill them. It wasn't. Baker was absolutely terrible. He got benched. I couldn't believe that, he got benched, and I knew for a fact this week he was going to go off because Baker doesn't like that. He doesn't like being the butt end of the joke, like he doesn't.
Yeah.
He wants it all to be about him because he's doing well. And today he shut everybody up. He balled out today.
I think we should remember, though, that it was against the Bengals.
Right.
So
it is against the
I would like to see him do that
Cincinnati
against
Bengals.
like a really good defense.
And I want to track.
I'm not trying to take away from him winning the game and all that shit, but it was against the Bengals.
It was against
the Browns are 2-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Browns are actually 2-2 in their division. This is 2 against the Bengals, correct?
I'm not sure if this is the second one. I don't know.
I thought this was their second against the Bengals. We need a stat guy. It's episode 1. We don't have a stat guy. We do it ourselves. Bear with us here. We're a bunch of fuck-ups. Either way, the Cleveland Browns are 5-2. Kevin Stefanski, when he went there, I thought it would be a good thing for the offense because, as Sheeble knows, that Minnesota Vikings offense was clicking with Stefanski as their offensive coordinator. He's bringing that over to the Browns. They won. It doesn't matter. It's the NFL. It's
not clicking anymore.
Well, nobody cares about the Vikings. Either way, the Browns are 5-2.
They're 2-2 in their division now.
Yeah, so they beat the Bengals twice. Dylan, remind me where you are right now.
I'm in Valdosta, Georgia.
And how close to Atlanta?
4 hours.
4 hours. You know what Atlanta stands for when you put it in the abbreviation?
ATL.
Yes, you know what that stands for?
Not following.
Something
No
about
guesses?
it's got to be something.
I'll
about
tell you what it
losing.
stands for. Another tragic loss, because that is the Atlanta Falcons losing at the buzzer to Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, 23 to
To the Lions.
22. 0 seconds on the clock, and the Lions come through and steal another one and steal the hearts of Georgians everywhere.
Oh man,
Falcons
it's
fans,
been a rough 2
the
weeks
Lions
for
never
Atlanta
come
fans,
through.
man. It's
The
been a
Lions
rough
never
2
come
weeks.
through. It's the Lions are always on the receiving end. Like,
To
remember
Detroit, come on.
Who? Oh, DeAndre Swift dropped that pass
Yep,
week 1,
week 1.
and they had the chance to do it there, and they did not get it.
I feel so bad. I have nothing against the Falcons. I have nothing against the Falcons.
I just think
I
it's
have nothing
hilarious.
against the
I
Falcons
really
either,
just think it's
yeah.
hilarious because
They're the laughingstock.
ever since the
Yeah,
2018
but guess what? They kicked
3,
our
bro,
ass. They kicked the Vikings' ass.
Because
Anybody's
you
the
look at the
laughingstock,
Jets.
it's the Vikings.
You look at the Jets. The Jets are dog shit. Nobody cares. So you have 31 teams in the NFL because the Jets don't count. And that 31st team is the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And they have just games ripped from them in their history. It's got to be the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching fan base. I can't imagine. I think I go through shit as a Packers fan.
God,
Holy
I don't think
shit.
I'd be able to go through it if I was an Atlanta fan.
Falcons fans. Wow.
At the beginning of the season, I was talking about how they're going to be good. I'm like, oh, they have Todd Gurley, they have Calvin Ridley, they have
look
Julio
like on
Jones,
paper
Matt
they were gonna have a
Ryan.
great year.
Yeah.
Sheeps, you and I both. Mark, you and I both.
Picked off. Russell Wilson was picked off. Metcalf's chasing him down. Oh my God, it was almost a pick 6.
Is that Buda Baker?
It was Buda Baker with the
That is
interception
good.
on Russell Wilson. He returned it to
Guys,
the 5.
Buda
That
Baker,
guy
the
is good.
highest paid safety in football. And there goes my fantasy team. I was already good enough. Without Aaron Jones, without Michael Thomas, without Alan Lazard,
Oh my
without
God.
Miles Sanders. I'm
They
fucked.
were on the 2.
They were on the 2. I got it on now. Also, Tampa Bay scored a run. I
Oh.
don't know if anybody's watching that. Wow, he read that.
Wait, can we just give a second? DK Metcalf. Holy.
Wow, Metcalf.
What the hell? Look at this.
Yeah, he chased him down. Oh my
Can
God.
somebody tell me how 31 other teams passed on him?
Dude, I don't know.
Holy shit.
Look at those strides. DK Metcalf is literally taking 2 steps every 5 yards.
That was
Do you
amazing.
think he could be the next, like, Calvin Johnson?
Calvin Johnson, he
Nah,
has the body.
because we have him in Pittsburgh. We have the next Calvin Johnson in Pittsburgh.
Chase Claypool, I wanted
Chase
him in Green
Claypool,
Bay in the
yeah.
second round, but nobody wants to listen to this expert right here when it comes to
Mapletron, baby.
draft
From the
because it was up to me.
brothers to the north of us, Canada, Mapletron.
You got Jordan Love. You're all set.
Yeah, well, I will pick Jordan Love. Chase Edmonds, or is that Drake? No, it's Drake. My eyes are jack shit. I don't know. I got a lot of problems. Back to what we were talking about, the Falcons and the Lions. Kenny Golladay, again, he's always a very consistent player for the Lions. I think Stafford finished with like 340. I had him on one of my bet slips. I went 4 of 6 on that one, and I lost out on almost $430 because Rodgers didn't get me 5 more passing yards, and Derrick Henry didn't get me 12 more rushing yards. I had Stafford over 285. He delivered. Big game at the buzzer. Matt Patricia's job, he was on the hot seat earlier in the season. He's a little bit better now.
Coming into the year after that week 1 loss, they were still 16. They had 16 consecutive losses. So, I mean, he definitely should have been on the hot seat.
Speaking of consecutive losses, when we were talking about Indiana, I forgot to mention, no, it was Rutgers. We didn't mention Rutgers and Michigan State. Rutgers lost 21 games in a row before they beat Michigan State. So Big Ten upsets with Indiana and Penn State. So there you go with losing streaks. All right, so Detroit moves to 3-3. Atlanta, who gives a shit? What are you, 1-6 now? 1-5? Irrelevant because Tampa Bay seems to be running away south.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to Tampa. Just kidding. We're going to Tennessee, where the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steel City, 5-0 Steelers against the Nashville, Tennessee Titans, 5-0.
The Steelers stole.
pulled away with a win. They were up 27-7.
Yep.
Every Steelers fan had their balls right up here in their friggin' throats.
So hard to
So
watch.
when Stephen Gostkowski lined up for a game-tying field goal, and he went wide right. Sorry, Scott Norwood. Steelers, 27-24.
May I just add, you know what pisses me off about that is that guy was 6 for 6 against the Vikings, and he goes and does this shit.
Hey, Sheeps, remember this shit? Hold on. Skull!
Don't remember what it's like.
Skull! Remember that shit?
Don't remember what it's like. I remember Blair Walsh missing a field goal against the
Oh,
Seahawks.
man, I love it.
I think it's bad being a Falcons fan. How about being a Vikings fan? We've never even won a Super Bowl.
Neither of the Falcons.
Oh, I don't care. They've been closer in recent memory.
Hey, Minnesota 0-4, Falcons 0-2. So technically speaking, Minnesota more chances. Rest my case. Let's go to our resident Pittsburgh fan, Marv. How did you feel watching that fucking game, dude? It was 27.
Felt great first half, of course. And then, as the game went on, our defense, losing Devin Bush last week, that leaves a very, very big hole in our defense. And, they were exploiting it. A.J. Brown had a day. Six catches,
A.J. Brown had
150 yards
a
and a touchdown, man. I mean, we held Derrick Henry to 75 yards on 20 carries, but he also had a touchdown. He didn't dominate the game on the ground, but he also, was a big part of their offense. But thank God for Deontay Johnson being back. 9 for 80 with 2 touchdowns, and it was a great day at the office for him. Juju looking like a number one-ish, 9 with 85. No touchdowns, but he'll be all right.
The thing is, though, like Ben threw for 268, 2 touchdowns, but 3 picks is not going to get it done.
Yeah, 3 interceptions is not great.
Ben's has these games every now and then where he throws a lot of picks. We saw it against Jacksonville a couple years ago. He had 4, I believe. Last year he had a couple games with 3 picks. But the important thing was we still got the win. Defense did what they needed to do to make them kick the field goal, and it was up to the kicker at that point. Great teams find a way to win, and we're the only undefeated team left in the AFC. And if Arizona pulls one out tonight, we'll be the only undefeated team left in the NFL. So feeling good as a Steelers fan today. Here we go.
My heart goes out to Gostkowski because he has had a rough start to the season.
Yeah.
But still went 6 for 6 against the Vikings.
Yeah, no, Vikings. Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's too fucking good. That's too good. The Steelers go to 6-0, like Marv said. We got the Seahawks going live right now. So as of right now, 2 unbeatens left in the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers at 6-0, the Seahawks at 5-0. A close game going on with Seattle and Arizona as we speak.
13-7.
13-7.
Yeah.
And Seattle has it at their own 3-yard line. Let's move on. Let's go down to the boot of America and Who Dat Nation, where Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, the Michael Thomas-less Saints, if you will, held on for a 27-24 win over the Fighting Teddy Bridgewaters and the Carolina Panthers. I thought Carolina had a shot at the end of the game.
Yeah, I thought
they went Sly. How about Sly with a 65-yarder? That would have been an NFL record. And what? He was all of a yard and a half short.
He gave it a good shot, man.
You gotta give
credit.
He was right on.
Not a lot of kickers will even line up to make that kick, and he lined up and almost hit it. So hats off to him.
He was damn near close. If there's a guy to do it, you think Justin Tucker, you think Harrison Butker, and you think Joey Sly.
Yep.
And Joey Sly was pretty close. Hey, credit to the Panthers. Sheebs, you were talking about the Falcons. You thought they would be good this year. Who did you think in that division was going to be absolute dog poop?
Panthers.
My prediction at the beginning of the season was that the Panthers were going to go about 9-7 and could sneak into a wild card spot.
All right, just threw me a curveball. You threw me a curveball. I thought the Panthers were
I believe in Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, I know you.
I'm a Vikings fan. I believe in Teddy Bridgewater. And you got to give him credit for sticking with the Saints with no Christian McCaffrey. He's been playing all right.
Yeah, but Davis is doing very well in the back.
Yeah, that's also true. But Christian McCaffrey's Christian McCaffrey.
But that's the thing with the NFL, dude. Running backs are so replaceable. They really are. You could plug anybody
Mike Davis has been playing really, really well for them.
Apparently, punters are replaceable too.
Not
so
Jay.
I I hope the Steelers sign Marquette King. Shout out Marquette King. I love that guy.
I think he's probably going to go back to the – what the hell is The Rock? Shit, help me. The XFL. Wow, thanks for the help.
He's an NFL punter. He's no XFL.
He is an NFL punter, but he's probably going back to the XFL.
He brings so much pizzazz to the punting position. It is so fun watching that guy do his thing.
No, what? I mean, Teddy Bridgewater finished 254, a pair of touchdowns. Drew Brees, 287, a pair of touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 14 for 83. He also did very well in the backfield. I think he had like 6 for 50, something around there. Callaway led New Orleans in receiving yards. DJ Moore had himself a game. He had 4 for 93 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
By the way, Marv, I'm kicking your ass in fantasy if you wanted to know. Absolute annihilation.
I haven't looked all day.
Every time I hear DJ Moore's name, I just think of that video where Steve Smith was asking Cam Newton if he should pick him for fantasy. And he was basically like, you better not suck. And that's all I think of every time I hear DJ Moore now.
DJ Moore's a good player. I did take him. He had a good game. I mean, you can't go wrong with 2 TDs and 94 yards. The Panthers give him credit for hanging in, but guess what? Hey, little secret. Credit doesn't get you wins in the NFL. Scoring more points than the other team, that gets you a win in the NFL. And that's what.
Well, usually if you score more points than the other team, you're going to win the game.
But if you score the same amount of points as the other team, you tie. And you know what? Speaking of ties, you know what we skipped over? I heard, I don't know from somewhere, dude. I was just hanging out. Heard there was a game Thursday, a football game.
I had no idea.
It was a modified football game in Philadelphia. I guess the
Charity Bowl.
Eagles High School played the Giants High School.
Yeah.
In that Eagles High School modified football team won by a point. I guess there was a guy in the other team that could have had like a 80-yard touchdown run, and I guess a sprinkler head came up.
There was a
Eli Manning Jr.
Yeah, and he like tripped out of nowhere. Must have been a sprinkler head. There was a whole investigation about it. I don't know.
But we make fun of him all we want, but that run by Daniel Jones was the fastest run by a quarterback. Miles per hour. It was like 21.2 miles per hour. It was the fastest run by a quarterback since 2008. And I got to think that had to have been Vic.
I just think he was too fast for his own feet. That's what happened.
You saw it.
It was also the longest.
Was leaning over. He was going to fall.
It was the longest run by a quarterback since Mariota in 2015.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Remember Marcus Mariota?
Yeah.
All jokes aside, Eagles win the game. But here's an ultimatum I want you guys to figure out. The NFC East, awful.
They don't deserve to be a division. They don't even deserve to. None of the teams in that division deserve to make the playoffs. I don't care who wins. If you're that bad, just give it to somebody else with a better record.
Yeah.
Sheeble, while you're on that topic, let me ask you this, because you just brought me right into what I was thinking. What if there was an NFC East All-Star team? You take the 4 teams at the end of the season, because none of them are going to reach 7 wins. And you take the best player from every team, right? They're going to get the 4 seed. Will they beat the 5 seed in the playoffs? If you had the NFC East All-Star team.
Fuck no.
No.
What quarterback are you picking from? Andy Dalton, Carson Wentz, Dwayne Haskins, Daniel Jones?
Kyle Allen?
Like, come on.
All right. So which one would you pick? What one would you pick? I would go Carson Wentz just because of experience. That's the sole reason I'm going Carson Wentz.
I don't even know.
And Andy Dalton's out. We're about to get to the Cowboys next. Andy Dalton might be out for a little bit with a concussion. We're going to get to that right after this.
Poor guy.
But I'm taking Carson Wentz. You go to the backfield. Okay, no Barkley. You got to take Zeke. I mean, you're not going to take Gibson. He's a rookie. He's been playing okay. But who would you rather have, Zeke or Gibson? Miles Sanders is hurt.
I'd probably take Zeke. Even if Saquon's healthy, I'd probably take Zeke.
The offensive line, the Cowboys, banged up. The Giants, non-existent.
They've never had one.
Andrew Thomas looks like a revolving door.
Exactly. Remember, who the hell was it that they took a couple years ago that was absolute dog shit, and I would joke about it. Not Pete, because he's actually decent in New Orleans.
Eric Flowers.
Flowers from Miami. Yeah,
he
he
sucked.
was terrible.
And they
And
tried moving him around to different positions, and he was still bad. And they're just
now
like,
here's the thing: you could take the
Touchdown,
Cowboys
Carlos Hyde.
touchdown.
Touchdown, Carlos Hyde,
That's
19.
what Seattle's up 27.
About to be 27 if Myers kicks the extra point. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he
it was like a
held that up.
21-yard run for Carlos Hyde. Extra point's good, 21-7.
But hey, to that point, okay, you take the Cowboys receivers. You got Amari, you got CD, you got Gallup. You can put Terry McLaurin in there. That's a good receiving core, if you ask me.
Yeah,
That's very good.
you gotta have somebody to throw it to him though.
The defense, you'll have Bradbury at corner. Okay, you could have the Washington football team front four because that's a very good front four. If you ask.
Yeah.
I
Chase
like Washington.
Young.
Philly's front four is pretty damn good too. They had the most sacks for a front
You
four.
can interchange Cox with Allen if you want to, but Allen's good. You can't take Allen off of there. You're gonna have Chase Young. You're gonna have Montez Sweat. You could have Cox and Allen. So that's a good front four. If you put Fletcher in there, Hendricks at linebacker. He's still in Philly. Blake Martinez. He's a ball hawk. You could have him at linebacker. Either way, the point of the moral of the story is you could look at the struggle that we are having right now putting together
an all-star team for the division because they're that bad. Yeah.
Point taken. Let's keep shitting on the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys.
I really don't have anything to say about this.
All I know
They don't have a
is I
fucking
can't.
name. The team doesn't have a fucking name.
Are you all them boys? I didn't think so.
I can't wait to watch First Take and see what Stephen A. has to say tomorrow morning about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what he's going to say?
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he's
He's
going
going
to
to
say.
be in a great mood tomorrow morning.
Yes, he is.
But again, I don't want to laugh because Andy Dalton, that was dirty on Bostic. What Bostic did to Andy Dalton, I'm happy he got ejected. That was dirty. That was absolute filth. You shouldn't do that. No place for that in football. It's a violent game, but when a man is giving up his body, he's sliding. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So I hope Andy Dalton's going to be okay. But regardless, the Cowboys are screwed. The Eagles are in first place at 2-4-1. Washington's in second at 2-5. That's utterly embarrassing.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen didn't even break 200 yards.
Yeah. And Andy
Correct me if I'm
Dalton,
wrong.
before
I
he
don't
got
think
hurt,
200 yards.
he was 194 yards and 2 touchdowns. Andy Dalton, before he got hurt, was 9 of 19 with 75 yards and an interception.
And guess what? Dumbass bet over 42 points in that game.
I'm going to have to go with you.
Was that so much to ask? Dallas, 3 points. Cowboys, what the fuck? And here's the thing with the Cowboys. You got the players talking shit about Mike McCarthy leading up to this game. Then after the game, you got Mike McCarthy talking shit about the players because they didn't stick up for Dalton. That's a train wreck. And you know what the Cowboys did this season? 2 head coach candidates they interviewed. Marvin Lewis and Mike McCarthy. Not much thought was put in there. They put their eggs in one basket, and that basket is going right down the pooper on an Easter Sunday, okay? So the Cowboys, dumpster fire. You know what I'm going to say? Cancel the season. Over. Season's over. The Cowboys, no shot. I don't care if you're a game out because of a fucking tie.
No.
Cowboys are done.
Yeah, they stink.
Dak
Their
recovers.
defense
Dalton
stinks.
recovers.
Terrible.
Done.
I don't blame
Season's
Jason
over.
Garrett anymore.
You can't. You can't blame Jason Garrett anymore. But you know what they're doing? They're blaming Mike McCarthy. And you know what? As somebody that had to sit through Mike McCarthy for 13 years, I see it one or two ways. Mike McCarthy does well when he has talent and doesn't do well when he doesn't have talent. But guess what?
Yes,
Mike McCarthy has talent right now. So what the fuck's the excuse down in Dallas?
Keep this in mind, too. Before this week started, Dak Prescott was still leading the league in passing yards. And he went down in the third quarter.
Yeah.
You know, that was an ugly injury. And obviously, we started this podcast say it happened last week, but I know we all feel the same about Dak and everything that he was going through, mental health-wise.
Yeah.
Brother, that hurts. I mean, that's terrible. He needed that team, and to see him with them on the sidelines the other day, that got me. That was huge. He needs those guys, and the fact that after, his ankle snapped and it was pointing the other way, he was out there with those guys.
Tony Romo had the nerve to say, "Oh, it's just a cramp, Jim." Hope it's just a
Yeah,
cramp.
and cramps don't look like that.
His foot was dangling. Just hope it's just a cramp, Jim. Here we go, Jim.
And I don't know if you guys saw at the end of the game, Terry McLaurin's post-game speech. That's a second-year guy, and he's there in the locker room after Ron Rivera says, "Hey, anybody got anything to say?" And Terry McLaurin steps up, and he put together a nice speech. That's a second-year guy. The Washington football team may not have a team name, but it seems like they have a culture in that locker room. It reminds me of what the Dolphins had last year. We're not a bunch of big-name guys, but a team that's going to fight for their coach and get somewhere. And, look what the Dolphins are doing now. They're a 500 team. I don't agree with the Tua decision. That's neither here nor there. That's not on the agenda today. But Washington right now looks like Miami last year. And next year, watch out for the Washington football team. I don't know if you guys got
their defense is only going to get better.
Yeah, and so is their quarterback and running back.
So, yes, there is hope for you Washington people. So, we will
– Just got to figure out a name for your team first.
Yeah, get a fucking name. I like the Sentinels. Just saying, putting it out there.
The Warriors. I like the Warriors. That was the name that was also thrown out into the ring.
The Red Wolves. Just anything. Name it the Condoms. I don't care. Your name should not be the football team. Just figure something out. It ain't that hard. Dan Snyder, I'm talking to you. Hey, so from the nation's capital to the nation's artery clogger down in Houston, Texas, where the Green Bay Packers and the bad man Aaron Rodgers came back after an ass whooping in Tampa to come deliver an ass whooping down in the fatso land of America. Rodgers, 4 touchdowns. Davante Adams, 13 catches. A career-high 196 receiving yards. Another touchdown to Jay Sternberger. Another one to Malik Taylor. The Green Bay Packers are 5-1. I'm in a good mood. Go, Pack, go.
I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. That guy is good, and his team is not good.
He is good, but he didn't scramble enough.
Bill O'Brien traded away DeAndre Hopkins, who is arguably the best receiver. Right now, he is the best receiver in the league, for a bag of chips, pretty much. And they weren't even Lay's. They were off-brand chips.
Hey, time out for your freaking great value chips. The Tampa Bay Rays, it's 3-2 Dodgers right now. The Rays have a runner on third, nobody out. But your great value chips, you're right with that because David Johnson ain't doing shit for them.
David Johnson is not doing Murray down to the 5.
Cardinals are in the red zone.
I'm with you though, Sheep, because David Johnson isn't doing anything. And what it was a 4th.
He's not the same anymore. In his prime, maybe that would have been a fair trade because he was gross and he kept getting hurt, and he's just not the same player.
No.
For people watching on YouTube,
and it's not like their offensive line is any good.
I got MRI tomorrow. I need to stretch my damn hip. I'm with you though because obviously I watched the whole game today. Thank you, Royer, for the ticket and Lonnie. Watson, when he scrambled, he did very well, but the Packers defense did not give him an opportunity to scramble too much. Right? What the Packers did well was getting little chunk plays. Hand off to Jamal, 4 or 5 yards. Get A.J. Dillon in there to be the bruiser. Because let me remind you, we're without Aaron Jones, number 1 running back. David Bakhtiari, number 1 2 tackle in the league, right? Kevin King, our number 2 corner. Darnell Savage, our free safety. Without him. Tyler Irvin, our return man. Christian Kirksey, our starting middle linebacker. The only reason that scored at the end was garbage time. They recovered an onside kick at the end of the game, big whoop. It was like, not to bring up a bad memory with me and you were watching, it was like how the Vikings only lost to us by, 9 points in week 1? It was garbage time points at the end of the game. The Texans had no shot. It was 21-0 at halftime. Aaron Rodgers coming off of a game like what he had in Tampa, Aaron Rodgers doesn't do. That's his 3rd career pick 6. Not very often he will throw 2 picks in the same game. What he does coming off of a game with 2 interceptions is unheard of. 25 touchdowns to 8 picks over his career. And a lot of those 8 picks came when he was younger.
I think Aaron Rodgers is an all right quarterback.
I think he's pretty damn good if you ask me. I don't know. Just
maybe one of the best of all time.
Look right over right there. Yeah, right there. Right there. Aaron Rodgers, you're my GOAT. The Packers next weekend take on the Vikings, and I'm sure that's going to be a fun episode too for us.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to have like 500 yards and 7 touchdowns because our secondary is just not even – they shouldn't even show up.
No, they shouldn't because the Packers are going to whop them. And you know what Mike Zimmer's going to do? Give Matt LaFleur a little half-half handshake at the end of the game, just like he did in Week 16 last year. Little bitch.
I think Mike Zimmer should be canned, but that's for next week. We'll probably be able to talk about that.
Just extend him and Kirk Cousins. Am I right?
Yeah.
The Packers have a lot to figure out in the offseason. Either way, they improved to 5-1. They're now looking down the Bears because the Bears beat Tampa and we lost to Tampa. So as of right now, the Bears are still first in the North. I know how tomorrow's going to roll over. We're going to talk about that later in the show. Packers 5-1. Houston falls to 1-6. Romeo Crennel fell into a heart situation. J.J. Watt at the end of the game was pissed. J.J. Watt was pissed. The reporter asked him something about Aaron Rodgers. He said, threw the ball well. And he goes, but why did he throw the ball so well? And J.J. said he threw to his receivers, and they caught the ball. Very smart-ass answer by J.J.
Very smart.
You can't blame the man.
No.
You get dumbass questions like that, get a dumbass answer and response. He's pissed, though, because JJ's right. There's a lot of talent on that team, but what Bill O'Brien did to them before his departure, it's a dumpster fire now.
Oh,
the fact, though, that he was the coach and the GM was just stupid.
that shows you that
Just-
organization-wise,
it's just
they
idiotic.
just don't
They're just
know
a
what the
dumpster
hell's
fire.
going on.
I mean, they've been around since what, like 2002, right?
2002 was their first season. And look how they started. David Carr, putting him behind literally garbage cans. He had no offensive line. Why did David Carr last 8 years in the NFL? Is because he had no offensive line. No quarterback has gotten sacked more than a single season than David Carr. And history repeats itself, boys, because what's been happening to Watson? Getting sacked
He's
on
getting
every
hit.
fucking play, getting hit every play. History repeats itself. Houston, figure yourself out. Go Pack, go. That's all on that one. Let's go down now to the team that kicked our ass last week again. Credit to where it's due. Bruce Arians, Tampa Bay. Congratulations. They did it again this week. Put up over 40 points against welcome fabulous Las Vegas Raiders. Sheeble, take it away.
Derek Carr, man. 284 yards, man. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not enough for Tom Brady. 369, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Looking like the Tom Brady that was in the QB room with me one time, man.
Hey, Mr. Gruden. The hell happened to Josh Jacobs today?
Didn't do enough, man. 45-20. I'll tell you what happened to our defense out there, man. 45 points. Not very good.
It's not good. You got to bounce back next week, don't you, Mr. Gruden?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully next week we're going to win that game, do a lot of that knee head business in the locker room after, man.
Hey, Spider 2-Eye Banana, let's go.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Knock on wood if you're in the Mile High City where the snow came down in Denver, Colorado, where the Kansas City Chiefs and Patty Mahomes came in and they just boom to the Denver Broncos.
It's a bad
No
Broncos
shot.
team.
No
It's a
shot.
bad Broncos team.
That was terrible.
No Von
Yeah.
The
Miller,
4 o'clock slate was absolute dog
no
shit.
Cam Sutton or Cortland Sutton. They just got nothing.
And Von Miller's been out the whole year.
Yeah, it just doesn't look promising. Drew Lock, he'll be all right, but he's not their. I don't think he's their franchise
know.
answer.
And John Elway said, I think it was before the season, that he sees a lot of himself in Drew Lock. I don't know what he was smoking.
Apparently that Colorado Kush, if you ask me. But either way, the snow was down. Didn't stop Pat Mahomes and Big Red Andy Reid. The AFC West, there's no question about it, as if there ever was, that the Chiefs are the favorite. The Broncos, sorry, good night. The Raiders had your chance today. You blew it. The Chargers, however, were home in Los Angeles, California, where, again, some Cali Kush came into play with big old Justin Herbert. Game of his career thus far. Correct me if I'm wrong, 4 touchdowns he finished with. And the Chargers won 30. I believe it was 39-29.
Yep.
over the
Yep.
Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Chargers started the game up 16-0. And then here comes the Jags, 16-14, and oh shit, Jacksonville, 21-16. But wait, Justin Herbert said, "Hold my dick, gonna take the lead," and then we're just gonna keep on going. What happened?
Russell
Tyler
Wilson.
Lockett.
Russell Wilson, 50-yard bomb to Lockett, touchdown.
Dope, because I mean,
26-14 Seahawks. Shout out Mike Digon, Seahawks.
Wow. What a
Looking
throw
good.
by the MVP.
Hey, the Tampa Bay Rays also have first and third with one out, and Willie Adames up in an 0-1 count. But either way, hey, Justin Herbert, first win as a starter, boys.
Good
Big
win.
game by that man,
Good win.
by Big
Yeah.
Herb. Give me that Herb, all right?
Yeah, great job.
I don't think it's going to be Minshew mania for that much longer in
You
Jacksonville.
know, I think Minshew
No,
mania is almost over.
Because he's not doing well against defenses that are
Not great.
figuring him out.
Yeah.
No, but to his credit, you play a line like the Chargers have. I was watching that game. My sister's boyfriend, EJ, Chargers fan, we had the game on. Minshew did not have that much time. He really didn't. The pocket was collapsing on him a lot. Joey Bosa looked really good. Joey looked really good today. You know,
Yeah.
Minshew did not have that much time in the pocket. He scrambled the best he could, but Sheebs, you're right. It's not going to be Minshew mania much longer. He's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a plug-in quarterback.
The mullet and the handlebar mustache and the jean shorts, it's all cool and stuff, but you got to put up numbers and you got to win games. Well, that
You
shit
do.
matters.
Jacksonville's not doing that. Jacksonville falls to 1-6 now.
And think about all
and
the players that the Jacksonville Jaguars have had and that they don't have anymore. Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell.
Do you want to talk about Ngakoue?
Baltimore is just trying to form the old Jacksonville D-line over there.
Hey, and it might work out well for them for all we know. You know, the Vikings basically gave away a second for a third rounder. That's neither here nor there. The Chargers go to 2-4. The Jags go to 1-6. One more game in the 4:00 slate, and I don't know about you guys. I enjoyed the hell out of it. The Patriots getting absolutely demolished. Cam Newton, 3 picks.
He was not playing well. Cam Newton was 9 of 15, 98 yards, and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, bad.
Not good.
Oh, no, I don't think that's a good game. Is
This
that
was
okay?
this was the third consecutive game where the Patriots did not score a touchdown in the first half, which is the longest streak under Bill Belichick.
This is
Think
the
about that.
worst start the Patriots have had since the year 2000 through 6 games. 2-4. The last time the Patriots were 2-4, Marv, you were just born. Me and you, Sheebs, were 2
Yeah, I
years.
think it was, what was it, 99 or 2000?
It was the 99-2000 season.
Yeah.
2001. Either way, we're all freaking sucking on our mother's boobies for milk and shit like that. The Patriots haven't done it since then. We were all in diapers shitting ourselves. That was the last time that us 3 have witnessed the Patriots being this bad.
Yep.
That's you know what? They took out Cam Newton, went to Stidham. You know what Stidham did? Tripped, fucking fell, fumbled the football. It's just ain't looking good out in New England.
And I was really rooting for Cam Newton, too, at the beginning of the season. He was playing
I
all
was,
right.
too.
And then he got COVID, and then now he's playing like crap.
The thing of it is, Sheebs.
I wrote in
me
my
and you were-
notes, Cam Newton sucks balls. 9 of 15, 98 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's all you need to know about the game.
That's pretty accurate. I mean, me and you were rooting for New England in one way because, you know, beat the NFC opponent. Marv's over there saying, hell yeah, go Niners.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at the AFC playoff picture, and New England's 12th in the AFC.
That makes me
It
feel
just-
very good.
But
Really
do you
does.
think Bill Belichick was in his feels, though, just seeing Jimmy G out there?
I'm sure he felt a little
Yeah,
something on it.
I'm sure he felt
He-
a little something.
He was probably watching the Super Bowl, too, in his feels a little bit.
You know, what goes around comes around. Nothing can last forever. Ask the Yankees of the 50s because apparently that's where they leave. Nothing lasts forever. Boston sports starting to come down. I know because, again, right there, for the Sox, I cry a lot over it. The Boston dynasty is coming down. The Patriots specifically dynasty coming to a crash. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady? We might start to get our answer. But again, the reason us three are here is we're not those sports talk show heads where it's like, oh, is it Brady or is it Belichick? Who was the one that carried? It was a collective effort. Let's not go to that point. Belichick and Brady need one another, but
yeah, I was gonna say they did it with each other.
They did, but you remove someone like
team.
Brady, it's what's going to happen. It's what happens every time you remove an icon quarterback out of your franchise. The fact that the Patriots are 2-4 with the team they have just shows how good of a coach Belichick is. What Tampa Bay is doing right now with Brady shows how good Brady is. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that, but
not really.
We can move from there.
Yeah.
So that does it for the Sunday slate. Again, we've talked about the Sunday night game, but tomorrow we have the Fighting Rams of Los Angeles, formerly St. Louis, against the Chicago Bears, who are surprisingly somehow 5-1. Hey, OG
Pisses me off to see that they're 5-1, I might add, but
I just need to give a shout out to the OG, Kevin Brogan. Congratulations, my man. But it ain't going to last for long, so enjoy it while you have it because Aaron Donald's coming to town. You know what's going to happen there. And I know Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack hasn't been Khalil Mack in 2 years. So
I think LA's offense is just going to be unbelievable.
Remember when Khalil Mack was basically doing it by himself?
Yeah, with the then Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, honestly though, Nick Foles is doing his job carrying the Bears offense. They don't have weapons. Allen Robinson, one of the more underrated receivers in football, he had a chance to come to Green Bay, but
I was going to say Allen Robinson is having a good year. Nick Foles has 878 yards and 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
He's doing a good job.
Definitely, he's doing a good job, but could be a little better.
Mr. Trubisky's a joke.
Yeah, the fact that guy was picked before Patrick Mahomes is an absolute abomination.
And Watson, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go around with some picks. I'm taking the Rams tomorrow. I'm going to take the Rams. I think they take it 24-17, basic score, but I think Foles gets a couple tutties. I think goal comes in, field goal. I think Goff's going to have a couple. Henderson out of the backfield. I'm going to go Rams by 7.
I'll go Rams by 10. 30-20 final score.
Let's get our AFC representative.
I got Rams 27-21.
All right, so that's a clean sweep Rams. One of us are going to write that down. We're going to reassess our Monday night picks. Speaking of picks, hey, I had a shitty day in gambling today, and we on this show on Riding the Pine, we like to gamble. We'd like to take our hard-earned money and just give it to the casinos, and that's what we do here.
Yep.
DraftKings.
Love giving back to the casinos and love giving back to DraftKings. That's all I've been doing in DraftKings.
That's all I've been doing. I say, here, take my money
back.
And like I said, I got pretty screwed today on my picks. The Bills didn't cover. They did on one sheet, not the other. Rodgers, I needed 5 more yards out of him. Realistically, on one sheet, I put 20 down to win 420. I needed 5 more yards out of Aaron Rodgers, 12 more out of Derrick Henry. Everything else hit. Ripped that one up because I had Matt Stafford hit his yardage. I had Justin Herbert with a touchdown. He needed 2 touchdowns. He got 4. Okay, cool. I got the Bills 3.5, and I got the Chiefs 8. Both those hit. Other ticket, $10 down to win like $1,500. Packers covered. But it was the Washington-Dallas game that screwed me, like I said earlier in the show. I don't know if you guys put any bets down this week.
I personally didn't.
I did not as well.
Well, we have some cowards. But guess who aren't going to be cowards next week? Because what we got for you are the Riding the Pine week. What the hell week next? The week 7 picks, week 8 picks. I don't know what the hell week it's going to be. But here we go. Marv, what do you got for next week? Give us your 3 locks of the week.
So I got 3 locks for NFL Week 8. I'm going to take San Francisco plus 4.5. I just think they looked great today. The Patriots still have a, above average defense, and Jimmy G looked really, really good. That offense looked really, really good. And then I'm gonna take Philly. I know it's gonna be crazy to bet a team from the NFC East. However, I'm gonna take Philly getting 3.5. I just think that somebody's got to win that game, so might as well be Philly. I mean, the Cowboys are terrible. So
Respect.
And then my third and final one, I have the over in the the Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Brown game.
Now, the over-unders really aren't set right now, but you can imagine what
Right,
it's going to be.
but I just feel like that game's going to be kind of a shootout, so I would say, if it's reasonable, if it's like 48, I would take the over.
Because me and you are going to be on the same page in a second after Sheeble goes, but you can only imagine what it's going to be. You got to assume it's going to be at least 52 points, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
that
was what my thought
so,
process was.
I'm with you. I think Cleveland and Vegas there's going to be some points scored in that game. Sheeps.
Yeah.
3 locks next week. And by the way, we're going to keep tallies on this. So,
All right.
3 locks every week. That's what we're going to do here in Riding the Pine. Even though if we go to the Beano, we're going to put in an 8-game parlay, 7-game parlays, whatever it may be. We don't do money line. We're not bitches here. This ain't childish gambling, right? We do point spreads, do over-unders, and player stats. So that's what we're going to be doing from here on out. So we're going to keep tallies on this. 3 every week. At the end of the season, we might have a little surprise for the loser with the worst total. So Sheeps, think long and hard here. What are your 3 locks for next week?
All right. I actually have a pretty bold one.
You got balls. I
have a bold one. I have a feeling. It's a bold feeling that Tua is going to throw 3 touchdowns next week against the Rams.
All right. Tua, over 2.5 touchdowns.
In his first start.
So is that what I'm hearing? Tua, Tagovailoa. Tua, Tagovailoa. 2.5
for
touchdowns.
2. Tua for 2.5.
2 for 2.5. So you're going 3 touchdowns for Tua.
Yep.
Put it in. Put it on the board.
Put it in. I also think that, look, I think the Chiefs could shut out the Jets.
They are 21-point favorites. 21.5.
I think the Jets.
How's that possible, first of all?
That's a college spread.
Like, why is the game even being played?
It's a college
There's a
spread.
3-score spread.
I think the Chiefs can shut them out.
Oh, I think so too. Their defense looked phenomenal today.
And I think the Ravens are going to hand the Steelers their first loss. Sorry, Dylan, but I think the Ravens are going to win.
You got the Ravens 5.5.
I think Yannick Ngakoue is going to play for the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have 2 or 3 touchdowns. You have the Ravens 5.5, and you have the Chiefs by 22 or 21. I think it's 21.5.
I think it's 21.5 as well.
Yeah.
And
It's possible.
again,
The Jets are that bad, and it's
They're
the
terrible.
Chiefs.
they are.
The defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
And hey, hear us out. We're doing these on Sunday night. There's a lot that's going to happen during the week.
During the week.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Injury reports are going to come out. Shit's going to happen. I mean, we're living in the COVID era. So bear with us. Adjustments will be made. We talk amongst ourselves. If anything drastic happens, we'll discuss it next Sunday night. And, if something really bad happens, say to Sheeble, me and Dylan will give him a pass and bring down the spread a little bit, something like that. So a lot could happen in a week. But for now, that's what Sheeble has. So he's got Tua with 3 touchdowns. He's got the Chiefs by 22. And he's got the Ravens by 6. Coming over to Zib's corner.
All interesting picks.
It is.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Hey, the Bills. 2.5-point favorites over the Patriots. Are you kidding me? Hammer the Bills 2.5. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, Big Joe, circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. They beat the Patriots by at least 3. They look like dog crap today. Cam Newton's got some shit to figure out. If they go Stidham, good luck. He looked like garbage today. Bills by 3 easily. Tell me how the 6-0 Steelers are 5.5-point dogs over the Ravens. No idea. Guess what? Take the Steelers plus 5.5. If they lose the game, it's going to be by a field goal, but I'm going to take them plus 5.5. Roll with the Steelers, and I don't know the exact over-under in Philly-Dallas, but I'm going to say it's the under. Whether it is 45 points, I couldn't tell you, but I cannot see Eaters or Westgate, whoever the fuck makes these spreads.
It's Philly minus 6.5.
No, the over-under. The over-under is not set yet, if I can imagine.
Oh, yeah, probably not. You're right.
But what I'm going to say is that whatever it is, you know what? If there's no set over-under, I'm going under 42.5 points in Philadelphia, Dallas. So I'm going to mark that down because there's no set under. So 42.5, I don't know if anyone could see it right there. Under Dallas, 42.5. It's already in my notes. The under in the Dallas-Philly game. So that game will be combined 42 or less points. Those are my 3 locks the next week. By the time next Sunday rolls around, we'll have the Rams and Bears to talk about. Thursday's game is Atlanta, Carolina. The World Series would have been wrapped up, and you know what? You guys might have a little surprise, a little 30-minute episode.
We might do a little World Series episode.
It's possible because what? It could end on Tuesday for all we know. So, Wednesday, you guys might have a little surprise for our loyal people out there. Yeah. Guys, we touched on a lot today. Yeah. What did we miss on? Anything?
I don't think so.
I think that
I got nothing left here.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think that hit everything.
This was a good time.
Maybe a score update. It is Seahawks 27, Arizona Cardinals 17 at the half.
All right.
At the half. So Seattle, and it looks like it's going to be Seattle, Pittsburgh heading into
week 8 undefeated.
Did you just say week 8? Where the fuck is the season gone? Okay, so the NFL season is flying by.
Russell Wilson, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Kyler Murray, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and he has 20 rushing yards. So Tyler Lockett's having himself a day, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. DeAndre Hopkins, 80 yards and a touchdown.
All right. So that does it, I think, for episode 1. Remember this one, because this I feel like is going to be the first of many for us here, no matter what. I think I could speak for the 3 of us where I said this was a good time.
Yeah, fun time. And everybody keep
excited
coming out every week and sitting the good old bench with us.
Excited to keep going.
Just come into the dugout, come off the sideline, off the court, whatever the hell you want to do, whatever sport you're playing.
Off the pitch, I don't care.
I don't care. Just pop a squat on the bench with us because we all suck just like you. And we're here for the game. We love the game. We may not be good at it, but we love the game. And that's why we ride the pine together. So stay with us. If you like it, tell somebody. Spread the word. If you didn't like it, you didn't listen to it. Just pretend it never happened. For the love of God, go about your days. You didn't listen to it. But if you like it, tell people, hey, all you people down with my boy Marv down in Georgia, spread the word. For all my people out in Amsterdam with my boy Sheeble, spread the word. Colin, your people in Vermont, I know it's a small state, quite literally 50th in population, but you know what? All 2,000 of you, we appreciate you if you're listening. And that does it for episode 1 of Riding the Pine. For Dylan Puz, a.k.a. Marv, Michael Sheeble, a.k.a. Sheebs, I'm Adam Zabrowski, guy they call Zib. Thank you for listening to us and sitting the bench with us. We'll see you next week, again, on Riding the Pine.